Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 25th of February 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. First off, a word of apology. Today's planned podcast will take place tomorrow. But with that being said, let's get straight into the news because we have today two interesting stories for you guys. First, there's the fact that Twitch has now started giving out grants to female streamers so they can bridge the gap between the amount of male and female streamers. And secondly, we're going to take a look at the fact that some students at the university managed to convince their professor to change their exam into a test about Fortnite. But let's begin with the grants for female streamers on Twitch. So, you know, Twitch, the largest streaming platform there is. Right now it's rivaling to become probably the largest streaming platform over the world with Netflix or even HBO, and many other companies have tried to become what Twitch has, but nobody has came even close to it. That being said, Twitch does certainly have its problems and they're attempting to fix them. And one of the problems, at least one of the perceived problems by Twitch, is the fact that the vast majority of streamers are male. I personally don't view that much of a problem, as I'm not a big fan of forced numbers just based on statistics. So you don't need to have 50-50 representation in everything. But Twitch has decided that they want to boost the number of female streamers on their platform, and to do that, they have created something that they call Broadcast Her Grant, which is essentially going to help females create content. The deal actually isn't that amazingly great as you might imagine, though certainly isn't bad in any sense of the world. So first of all, you need to be a female streamer who is currently enrolled in high school or a college. You can prove that you are in financial need, and if you prove both of these things, you might get a grant somewhere between $500 to $2,000. Obviously, those numbers aren't particularly huge, but they certainly aren't small either, especially the $2,000 is actually enough to build a quite nice streaming computer, including all the peripherals, including a decent webcam. Obviously, you will not be able to build the highest of highs on top of computers with that, but that doesn't seem to be the goal here. So these grants should help pay female content should help pay female content creators pay for things like travel to gaming conventions, educational conferences, hardware upgrades, or instructional programs related to creative or artistic pursuits. Yeah, all of these things are pretty good things to offer grants for, though I will personally wish that they would just offer this to anybody who would be in need of such support instead of just purely females. Actually seems more fair to me. But in any way, it's their platform and they can obviously do anything with it. And if they want to boost the number of female streamers, this might be a decent way to do it. So, there's going to be deadlines for 2 rounds of this grant program. First deadline will be ending on May 1st, the second on October 1st. So if you're a female streamer who qualifies for these grants, so again, you need to be in high school or college and show that you are in financial need, you might want to apply because obviously until the end of May isn't that little time, but it's also not that much time, and we don't really know what exactly you need to be successful in filling out these grants. So if you want to try to apply for these, I would suggest you start as early as you can, because traditionally bureaucracy has been slow, not only on Twitch but in general. And they also have a second part for this project. They are starting to partner with a group of popular female streamers for a charity event. This charity event is called Stream for Dreams and is going to run all month from March 1st. there will be some offerings like t-shirts and some incentives to people who want to donate to this charity. And if it is going to succeed, it's going to go towards some females and making them streamers. The CEO of this project has said, as an organization committed to all dreams, we're excited to partner with members of the Twitch community on this amazing new campaign. The initiative not only raised critical funds, but will also boost awareness around the shortage of support for these creative young women in the digital broadcasting space. And here is actually the place where I have to disagree. I don't really think there is a lack of support for female creators. I just think the fact that Twitch is majorly around video game streaming, and the fact that it has been pretty much proven that video games are played majorly by men, at least the ones that are being streamed on Twitch and similar platforms, it's honestly no surprise that the vast majority of streamers will be men as well. While yes, there have been studies that show that around 40% of quote-unquote gamers are women, they also count people who are very casual and often play very casual games on their cell phones. And I don't really think anybody wants to watch Candy Crush being streamed. Would you watch Candy Crush being streamed? It just seems so boring in the end, you know? Unless the person has a really fun personality and can rage insanely against Candy Crush, then that might be fun. But watching the game for the game itself, well, in case of many mobile casual games, I don't think it will be that fun. There are obviously few mobile titles that are actually fun to watch. Clash Royale comes to mind, for example. But those games already do have streamers, and you know what? They're usually male, and it's not because the community doesn't welcome women. It's just because, well, these sort of games are, again, usually played majorly by men. That's really just the whole thing. But I really don't mind them putting out this sort of grand initiative. I don't view it as a particularly bad thing because, again, it's their platform and they can do whatever they want with it. Okay, let's move on to the second and last piece of news for today, which is about a Fortnite player who managed to convince the teacher to make an exam about the Battle Royale mode of Fortnite. So this started pretty innocently. You've probably seen some of those. It's essentially a meme at this point where somebody's like, if this post reaches 2,000 retweets, I will eat my hat, or something like that. Well, and this person who is named Jilly Zeus, and he's a Twitter user obviously, managed to convince her teacher that, well, they should have an exam about Fortnite Battle Royale if she manages to hit 6.7 thousand retweets on her on her tweet. Well, and she managed to do that pretty quickly because at the time of when I looked at this, the tweet was nearing about 27,000 retweets. Yeah, so that's going to be a pretty interesting test. I wish the test gets released on the internet, and I really want to see what they input in this test. An interesting idea I read was like the chemistry of Fortnite, and because it's supposed to be a chemistry test, though I cannot really imagine how that would work. It seems it will most likely just be like, how much wood do you need to build stairs, or what is the average DPS of a common silence pistol, or something like that. You understand my grift. And to be honest, I find it just hilarious, and I really wish the teacher goes through with it, because if he didn't, that would be really, really lame. Is the lame still even a word that's being used? Man, I'm out of touch with children, aren't I? But if he does, that would be just pure awesomeness. And while I do have my doubts about him doing it, I just hope he does, because the fact that it also gained some media traction sort of makes it harder for him not to do it. But yeah, he's a teacher. You don't really know. Teachers can sometimes be jerks. I know very well. I'm a part-time teacher as well. I teach English, but I don't teach in a school, so it's a little bit different. But I just really want to see this test come into the light of the world and read it and take it and see how well I did on this chemistry test. Man, the world we live in. You know, it's like the meme. Every day we stray further from God. But at least in a hilarious way. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to our channel. If you are watching this on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow our blog. Be also sure to leave a comment. Tell me, what do you think of this test? And do you think Twitch offering grants purely to women is sexist? Tell me, I really want to know. And be sure to tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, we should have the podcast ready. So, come in and join us. See you guys later with more gaming content.